Good morning and welcome back to 10-Minute English Cafe. It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026.
Happy Tuesday! I found yesterday's tiny cafe note on the counter.
The note that said, "Order more milk before we panic?"
Yes, and today it turned into an actual shopping list.
So today's keyword is turn, spelled T-U-R-N.
Turn is a small word, but it does a lot of work.
Exactly. It can mean changing direction, but it can also mean becoming something else.
Like a note turns into a plan, or a simple idea turns into a whole project.
Today, we have 3 stories about that kind of turn.
First, a long-running reality show turns into an official companion book.
Then, an online luxury cookie brand turns into a real storefront.
And finally, lost balloons in Grand Central turn into a small city mystery.
Before we begin, if you are new here, we turn real news into natural English conversation every day.
With words you can use when stories become objects, places, or public curiosity.
If that helps your listening practice, please subscribe and join us for 10 minutes.
Let's see what these stories turn into.
We'll start with a show that became bigger than one screen.
That sounds like a good Tuesday transformation.
Our first story is about the long-running reality show Survivor.
That show has been around long enough to have its own weather system.
People reported that an official companion book is planned for March 2027.
Companion book is a useful phrase.
Yes, a companion book is a book made to go with another work, like a show, film, or game.
So it is not the main show, but it helps fans go deeper.
Exactly. This book covers all 50 seasons.
50 seasons is not a small archive. That is a whole mountain of alliances, votes, and memories.
The book also features a foreword by Jeff Probst.
Foreword is another good word. It means an introductory section at the beginning of a book.
Right. It's often written by someone connected to the subject.
So a host writing the foreword makes sense because he is part of the show's identity.
The book is also expected to include interviews with fan-favorite contestants and crew.
Fan favorite means people that many fans especially like.
Exactly. And crew means the people working behind the camera or behind the production.
That connects to another key phrase, behind the scenes. It means the parts of a project that the audience usually doesn't see. For a reality show, that is probably very interesting. Viewers see the game, but not every production decision.
The book also mentions topics like hidden immunity idols and challenges.
Those are strong fan words. Even if you don't watch the show, you can hear the game structure.
This is today's first turn. A television legacy turns into a physical book.
A screen story becomes something you can put on a shelf.
And for learners, it shows how entertainment can become a franchise.
Franchise means a larger world of products, stories, and fan experiences around one original idea.
Our second story moves from television fans to dessert fans.
I am listening respectfully.
Eater and Y reported that last Crumb opened its first storefront in Williamsburg.
First storefront is a very useful phrase.
It means the first physical shop where customers can visit in person.
So the brand is no longer only a website or a delivery box.
Exactly. Last Crumb built its identity as a luxury cookie brand through online drops.
Online drop means a limited release sold online at a specific time, right?
Yes, it often creates scarcity.
Scarcity means there is not much available, so people feel urgency.
The new store changes that experience. It offers same-day baking and immediate consumption.
Immediate consumption is a formal way to say you can eat it now.
Exactly. The brand turns from waiting online into walking into a shop.
That is a big emotional difference. A box arriving later feels different from a warm cookie in your hand.
A useful business phrase here is physical retail.
Physical retail means selling through real stores instead of only online.
Right. Many online brands try this when they want people to experience the product directly.
But it also changes expectations. A store has staff, rent, lines, smell, and atmosphere.
Exactly. Online scarcity can feel exciting, but a storefront has to work every day.
That is the turn. Hype becomes operations.
Very well said. A brand story turns into a place with doors, counters, and customers.
And maybe a person standing outside saying, "Is one cookie really luxury?"
We're not giving buying advice, but the English is useful.
First, storefront, physical retail, and scarcity. I can use those for many brands.
Our final story takes us to Grand Central Station in New York.
A train station is already a place full of movement.
The New York Post reported on mysterious balloons floating near the high ceiling.
That sounds like the beginning of a tiny urban legend.
The important correction is that these balloons were reported as accidental releases, not an official ad stunt.
Good to know. So the story is not a planned campaign. It is a public space curiosity.
Exactly. One heart-shaped balloon had reportedly been stuck near the ceiling for months.
Stuck is a simple but useful word.
Yes, if something is stuck, it cannot move away easily.
A balloon stuck near a famous ceiling is oddly charming and slightly inconvenient.
The landmark is famous, which makes removal difficult.
Landmark means a famous or important place, often protected or carefully managed.
Right. You can't just climb anywhere or damage the building to get a balloon.
So a small accident becomes a long-running visual detail.
Commuters and visitors notice it, talk about it, and wonder where it came from.
Commuter is another useful word. It means someone who regularly travels to work or school.
Exactly. This is a commuter space, but the balloons make people look up.
I like that. In a hurry-up place, something slow and silly gets attention.
That's today's third turn. An accidental object turns into a city story.
Not every public story begins with a plan. Some begin when something floats too high to reach.
And it reminds us to check facts carefully.
Yes, a mystery can be fun, but the explanation matters.
Today's keyword was turn, and each story turned in a different direction. In the first story, a long-running show turned into an official companion book. A screen legacy became something fans can read and keep. In the second story, online cookie hype turned into a physical storefront. Scarcity became a counter, a line, and a same-day cookie. In the third story, accidental balloons turned into a small Grand Central mystery. A lost object became something commuters talk about. So here is today's question. Which turn is most interesting to you? Option A is a show turning into a companion book. Option B is an online brand turning into a store. Option C is a lost balloon turning into a city story. Tell us in the comments. You can write A, B, or C and add one sentence in English. For example, I choose B because online brands feel different in real stores. Take today's word with you. Turn can mean change direction, but it can also mean become something new. A note turns into a list. A show turns into a book. A small accident turns into a story. If this conversation helped your English, please like, subscribe, and come back tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday, and notice what small things turn into today.